Just recently, the new Denza N7 has been launched offline. BYD has achieved its goal of discontinuing 7 million new energy vehicles. It feels like 3 million vehicles haven't been long yet. 7 million vehicles will arrive. The millionth vehicle will be taken offline in May 2021, to 3 million offline vehicles. BYD used it for a year and a half, and from 3 million to 5 million vehicles, BYD took less than 9 months, but from 5 million to 7 million vehicles, BYD only took over 7 months. BYD's production capacity advantage is too great. Push it backwards. To support such a large production capacity, it's the skyrocketing sales on the market side. In the current environment, joint venture cars were laid off and shut down by domestic cars. BYD is still advancing at high speed. The strength of ranking 9th in the world is really not to be underestimated. BYD's full industry chain advantages and scale effects reached a terrifying level. But what is little known is that BYD does not manufacture anything other than glass and tires. Almost all components, they are all produced and used by themselves, and the universality rate reaches over 70. The advantages of such an industrial chain are in hand. There are two main benefits. First, lower cost control. Secondly, high production efficiency. The lower the evenly distributed manufacturing cost, terminal sales dare to significantly reduce prices. For example, the Championship and Honor versions around this year. As soon as this gameplay is developed, the orders skyrocketed. What if there is a surge in delivery? Not present. BYD has 9 production bases in China. The components are not subject to third-party influence. As soon as the previous order arrived, we will start production later. The offline speed is fast, the delivery cycle is short. Not only that, but also, BYD is still in Brazil, Thailand, Hungary and Uzbekistan have both established factories for production. BYD has thoroughly understood the entire closed-loop system. This is a very terrifying existence. With a strong industrial chain advantage, the BYD brand is developing synchronously. The huge production capacity of the backend, it will force BYD to enter the market. We must sell more cars quickly. Although the domestic market is large enough, but the competition is too fierce, so accelerate going global to seize the big market. That's the top priority for BYD in the future. That's why I understand. Why does BYD spend a lot of effort to purchase self-built logistics for roll-on or roll-off ships? Improve efficiency. My M7 has been in hand for several days now, because the intelligent driving permission of M7 is opened in batches. The cars I only picked up in March were the last batch. It will take until the end of March to use the no map intelligent driving. At present, the intelligent driving function can only be activated in the loop area of Wuhan. I work for about 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes after work, after a few consecutive days of trial, I can responsibly tell everyone that the intelligent driving of Wenji can completely replace humans on the loop line. There's no need to expend energy at all. Fully automatic driving, and for intelligent driving on ordinary roads. I have already experienced it during the test drive. You can take any road. Where am I difficult to walk and where did the car get stuck? It can all be opened. There are also many videos online about using Wenji intelligent driving to commute during peak hours in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Everyone can search for it. Those videos are indeed real. I suggest that regardless of whether or not you plan to buy a car, you can go to Wenji's store for a free test drive. Only test drive M7, only requiring the experience of ordinary road intelligent driving function and roadside automatic parking function. Even people who don't need to buy a car at all can go and experience it, because this will definitely overturn your impression of Chinese trams and Chinese technology. Just a test drive, not for money, Believe me, go and feel it. Witness the era of intelligent driving for humanity. Finally, in addition to praising the intelligent driving function of Wenji, I want to criticize the charging station of Wenji. When buying M7, I casually bought a Huawei charging station hanging in the Wenji store, 8,000 yuan each. Since you have bought a tram, of course you need to buy a charging station. Since the car I bought is from Wenji, of course, I need to buy Huawei's charging station. It's just a bit more expensive than Celis's. Are you okay? So I decisively bought it. After returning home, I casually checked the information. Foolish. BYD's 7 kilowatts charging station only costs 1,000 yuan. The most expensive 1150. The installation fee depends on the length of the wire. Generally speaking, it's about 500 yuan. Put together, it's only around 1500. It's just a charging station, just for charging. If you say that the functions on the car are more or less a few thousand, then it's hard to say. The charging function is amazing. Huawei's charging stations are definitely of good quality, but BYD, as a leading electric vehicle manufacturer in China, is there a problem with BYD's charging system? Looking up at U8 is $1 million luxury car, the same as using BYD's charging station. If there is no benchmark, then it's okay, but if we assume that BYD's charging station prices are reasonable, so Huawei's charging station costs 8,000, which is too much of a pit. It makes me feel like I'm being taxed on intelligence. Then I checked again. The price of BYD's charging stations is not a price war. We have already considered the brand premium, because the hottest ones, the sales volume of charging stations is about 10 times that of BYD. Just over 300 yuan. That's right. More than 300 yuan. It is also a 7 kilowatts power charging station. Of course, installation fees will be charged. It's also 500 yuan. This thing sells 20,000 units per store per month. It is widely used by the common people. I haven't heard of any electric car charging issues on the news so far. The charging station is essentially a power converter. The technical threshold is extremely low. Huawei's stake costs 8,000 yuan. It's a bit excessive to be true. This is a pricing error. The car owners who can buy at this price are all brainless and trust Huawei, because as long as you do homework and research, you definitely won't buy it. But these car owners will eventually know the prices of other charging stations. This price difference is too outrageous. This will hurt their trust in the Huawei brand. The slow charging of household electric piles is not only good for the battery, but also, and it can be used for large-scale charging in underground garages during nighttime. Forming folk-disguised energy storage devices make use of electricity that is difficult to use at night. It is a good thing that benefits the country and the people, so charging stations shouldn't be so expensive. The cost of this thing is indeed not high. The technical threshold is also low. Then he also criticized BYD's charging station. Software development is always one step slower. My own charging station's 4 grams mobile phone software features are all installed, but I haven't implemented a Bluetooth insensitive identity recognition function. This thing doesn't have much research and development difficulty. The 300 yuan's charging station does not have this function. You have to have it. The 11 kilowatts function is actually not very useful. Slow charging is sufficient and good for the battery, but Bluetooth insensitive charging is very convenient. I need it. Finally, 2 charging stations were found. A person named Guangqier, another new energy vehicle brand, a call from T. Currently, the brand with the highest number of installed charging stations among dozens of third-party charging stations on the street. Guangqi's installation includes 2,000 yuan. The special call does not include installation, which costs 1,471 yuan. After installation, it is also about 2,000 yuan. The cost effectiveness is not high either. You can tell by the sales volume. Few people buy it. After being conflicted for a long time, I chose the one who called specifically, because considering the many charging stations he installs on the streets, safe enough, and then this pile looks pretty, and the brand may not know many people. Actually, I really want to install BYD's charging station, because the cheapest one, including installation, costs 1,000 yuan, BYD's 1500. I think it's okay. After all, there is brand value, but BYD's pile actually doesn't have Bluetooth insensitive charging function. I don't want to scan the code every time. Laziness, so we can only choose 2000. If Huawei sells it for 3000, that would be great. I think it's worth considering a brand premium of 3,000 to buy Huawei charging stations, but 8,000 really can't be bought. I have written so much specifically for charging stations. It's because choosing this thing took me a lot of time. Although it's not expensive, it's very annoying. I found that Huawei charging stations are severely expensive and requested a return. Sales promised in seconds. Then I asked why the charging station you sold me was priced so cheaply. The salesperson was very aggrieved and replied that I didn't recommend it to you. It's something you want to buy yourself. We are a salesperson from Wenji and cannot recommend other brands of charging stations to you. It's also impossible to say that our own products are not good, right? I thought for a moment. It seems like this is indeed the case. The salesperson did not recommend it to me. I bought it myself after seeing the sign hanging on site. Their refund is also very efficient. But as a knowledgeable car owner, in theory, I should have used Huawei charging stations. Spending so much effort comparing prices everywhere, I ultimately chose a third-party charging station. This shouldn't be. Huawei has taken the lead in implementing intelligent driving, should be encouraged and supported, but what needs to be improved in the pricing system also needs to be improved. How much does the car cost? A charging station costs 8,000. It's a bit outrageous. The price of this item should depend on how much other charging stations with charging functions are sold in the market. Okay, let's not mention the charging station. Finally, I would like to suggest that everyone test drive the M7 at the Wenji store on weekends, specially selecting congested and difficult road sections to experience the intelligent driving system. The harder it is to drive, the more difficult it is to park, the better. Believe me, it will overturn your values and your understanding of cars. I already use the intelligent driving system to commute to and from work every day. Currently, it is being used on the Loop line. By the end of the month, the permission will be granted to me. I will use it all along the road. I think it's good. But for those who find it too expensive, don't rush either. I have also analyzed the industry trends for you. The intelligent driving system has just been born. At present, it is definitely the most expensive time. In the future, prices will rapidly decrease. I estimate that there will be over 200,000 models available for intelligent driving next year. In 3 to 5 years, models worth over 100,000 yuan can also be equipped with intelligent driving. The cost will be greatly compressed. The era of intelligent driving for all will soon come. European and American car brands that do not operate electric cars are chronic deaths. You can test drive the intelligent driving system of Wenji for free once and you will know why I said that. Shortly after the start of 2024, BYD Auto's official blog released a message. The Kin Plus Honor Edition, a subsidiary of Dynasty Net, has officially been launched. The selling price starts at 79,800 yuan. Releasing this price reduction strategy will directly cause a big earthquake in the domestic market. The proud joint venture car had to follow suit in lowering prices. Just 7 days later, BYD has another big move. This is a direct and comprehensive entry into the expert-like cloud European market. BYD unveiled 8 new energy vehicle models at the Geneva Motor Show, further expanding its global layout. Promote green travel, assist in the global green transformation of energy. At this year's Geneva Motor Show, the BYD exhibition area covers an area of over 2,000 square meters. It is the largest booth for a single brand. Jointly exhibited Song Plus DMI overseas version named Seal UDMI, Seals, Tengxi D9, Tengxi N7, looking up at 8 new energy vehicle models including U8, covering sedans, SUVs, MPV. It also covers pure electric and hybrid models, fully showcase BYD's rich product matrix. Due to the gorgeous appearance of the car model, the interior materials are solid, leading in power technology. The BYD booth attracted a large number of visitors to stop and watch. It's hard to imagine such a popular car manufacturer is actually a native Chinese enterprise. As is well known, most world-renowned car brands belong to European brands. The European automotive market is also the most mature in the world, the most fiercely competitive market. If it weren't for the technical prowess, automobile manufacturers dare not easily get involved. But if we can establish a foothold in Europe, so it will be easy for BYD to enter other markets, the process of globalization will greatly enhance. This year's Geneva Motor Show, BYD showcases such a powerful lineup. This indicates that BYD has decided to fully enter the European market. Even the Looking Up U8, which represents BYD's strong technical strength, has been showcased. In 2023, BYD Han EV was launched in Europe. The pricing has already reached as high as €72,000, equivalent to approximately 500,000 RMB, equivalent to the European price of the German BMW X5. Looking up to U8's pricing in the European market, which will have a much higher positioning in the future, will definitely be a big highlight. In order to fully enter the European market, BYD is well prepared, according to Hungarian media reports. On January 30, BYD officially signed a land pre-purchase agreement with the government of Szeged, Hungary. The construction of BYD Hungary's passenger car factory has officially started, becoming the first Chinese car manufacturer to establish a factory in Europe. Coincidentally, the Italian government is also optimistic about BYD's new energy vehicles. Previously, Italian media reported that, in order to introduce a second car manufacturer beyond the Fiat manufacturer Stellantis, the Italian government has contacted BYD. On February 26, Xu Yuxing, general manager of BYD Europe, was interviewed by Bloomberg at the Geneva International Auto Show, confirmed that the company has had contact and discussions with the Italian government regarding the construction of the factory. "I didn't expect it, did I?" BYD, once publicly mocked by Elon Musk,